Ken, thank you for meeting with me tonight. How are you?
Good. How you doing?
Great, thank you. I'm glad we could talk about Sally and hopefully work together in the future. Um, I wanted to start by just, addressing any concerns we have and see what we want to move forward. I'm sure you understand the position where we would like to have Sally Soprano singing in our upcoming show of Norma. It's 6 weeks of performance with 3 performances a week. Do you have any questions or any concerns you want to address to begin?
Yeah. One of the main concerns I have is you had another soprano, a young Miss Rising Star that had the title role previously.
Yes.
I just want to know why she dropped out of that.
We were hoping not to release this information until it was definitely sure, but she's had a health problem that is not serious, but we would like for her to not compromise her health any further by performing. We wouldn't want her to call out on any shows, so someone who's going to be able to show up and not have any incidents of absence is what we're hoping for. That's why we're
Okay.
seeking out Sally.
I just want to make sure there's no problem with the crew or anything like that because I don't want to throw my client into something where there's some sort of disgruntled behavior going on. So I just want to make sure that it was, not an issue there.
Of course,
I
I
don't
can
want
appreciate that
her to
concern.
be thrown into the fire or something.
Definitely.
So that was my concern with that. Um, and how much was she being paid for that role?
Her role, while they hadn't decided on an exact amount yet, typically the role is paid at twice what the secondary is. So they were looking at offering her approximately $28,000 to $30,000 for the position.
Okay.
And while she doesn't have the same status that your client has had in previous shows, her status in her career is a little bit more up and coming, a little bit more contemporary, given recent events and everything. So we'd be definitely willing to work with Miss Soprano. We just want to see where you stand and what your desires are as far as salary. If there's any other issues that we want to address.
Well, from your angle, I mean, I see that you guys have a little bit of an issue with the fact that you had somebody that was signed a year ago to do this role, and now you have somebody coming in. You only have 3 weeks to prepare
Right.
for this. Even though my client has done this before, has experience, and has worked with the lyric, um, it's a little bit of a rush. It's a little bit of a tight window there. So as a result, I mean, we have to realize, that I'm not saying somebody's performance would be hindered by this, but my client is an experienced person. So, you had somebody coming in previously that was inexperienced. So I think it benefits you guys greatly to be looking at my client as a person for this role, even though she hasn't had a title role for over 2 years. I think she's perfect for this. So I think we're on the same page that she's the one for this spot here.
I agree. She definitely will require less in terms of preparation. That's why we are seeking her out. We had a couple concerns. It's been a while since she's worked with us, but I feel like the familiarity is definitely a plus, not only with the company but with the role itself. Both of those are definitely a positive thing. Now, the role would prefer someone who is of a younger age. However, we know that with makeup and costumes, those are things that can be, adjusted. So while that may not be ideal, it's something that we can definitely work with. Um, since our higher end was at the 30,000, that's what we would be willing to open up in negotiation to offer. And I want to see what your client and you feel about that.
Um, I feel it's a little bit on the low side considering that she did this role 4 years ago and got paid 22. But as you know, roles like this, the salary for sopranos have gone way up over the last 4 years. So
Right.
30 is probably the low end of what we'd be looking for. So,
And I do understand that. Normally, like her secondary soprano in this role is being paid 14,000, and traditionally the title role would make twice that at 28,000. That's where we've estimated that range to be. Is there a number that you are more comfortable with?
I think the range that I'm looking to get her in around the 37 range.
Okay. And is salary the only concern for her? Are there other aspects that she is interested in, or is this really the only point in her negotiation for this role?
She wants the role. And that's the biggest thing for her is the fact that she gets a title role. She has had one for 2 years. So she really wants the role. She loves this role. So it's not really a money issue. She's not being greedy here. She wants to help you guys out. She knows you guys are in a little bit of a bind here with 3 weeks till the thing opens.
Yeah,
So he's not trying to push the ticket on the thing. I just want to get her a fair salary where we both benefit here, so she's not going to be taking any hits in the future if she were to take like a low ball offer. You know what I mean?
of course.
So we just want to make sure we get a fair offer, really.
Okay.
And she understands that she's helping you out, you're helping us out by giving her a lead role that she hasn't had in 2 years. So we just want to make sure that we're getting what she deserves.
Of course.
And to hold you guys over a barrel, and we just don't want to be taking a low thing. Just want to get somewhere where we feel comfortable.
Definitely. And it would definitely be wonderful to work with someone who does have the experience. Like you said, it's definitely an opportunity for us as well for her, and hopefully she can open up into future positions as well. Would you be comfortable meeting somewhere in the middle, say around 33,000?
I mean, that's getting a little bit low. I mean, I would consider that only because I know she wants the role so bad. I would only consider it knowing that to her, the money's secondary here.
Mm-hmm.
So I'd only consider that if we can come to some sort of agreement where she gets some sort of bonus. Because as far as I can tell here, you guys normally get 85% capacity on these productions.
That is correct. We do get that. We are not profit, which I'm sure you may have already known. Our concern is because we don't have an up and coming person right now. We're bringing someone in that may be a little less shiny and new. That may somehow diminish our attendance record. We were hoping not, because again, Sally is a great performer. Now we don't usually do any kind of a commission based or sign on bonus based of payment. However, some of the things to consider are that her requirements as far as rehearsal may not be as extensive because she is so familiar with the part. So those are certain things to keep in mind. If you're not liking 33 as a figure and you were at 37, is there something that you would like to offer back?
Well, from your guys' standpoint, I mean, yeah, you had a younger, less experienced performer originally, but at this point, you can't go there. You need an experienced person for this role. You only have 3 weeks, so as much as you may want a younger person that can maybe would help bring in more people, that's really not an option at this point for you guys. I mean, you're really going to need somebody who's done the role before, and sorry about that.
No worries.
You really need somebody who's done it before, has the experience, can just jump right in and do this. So that's where, why I think we're even having this conversation.
Sure.
So
I appreciate that.
To me, being nonprofit, sure, you don't make any profits on this, but if you do generate more revenue, you have to bring the money back into the opera house. So if you have to bring the money back in the opera house and you generate more revenue in this particular production, I don't see why we can't kick some money back to the performer if you were to generate more than you expected.
Okay.
So that's a way we can make up the gap here.
If they're, okay, so I'm at 33, you're at 37. What if we can concede and to meet at 35? The only condition I would like to have on that is if she does not discuss her salary with outside people. Like you said, one of the reasons we are offering more money than we normally would is only because we are in this tight position. So this would not be a normal negotiation per se if we weren't in that predicament. So if she's willing to to keep that confidential, we would be willing to meet her at 35,000.
Okay, I'm sure that would not be a problem as far as keeping it confidential.
Okay.
Not about bragging or running around telling people how much we make here.
No, of course. Sometimes those things slip and it creates a snowball. But I'm sure, especially for a mature woman, she's not going to be singing it from the hilltops. She'll definitely keep that to herself.
Correct. I just think the final point we need to make here is exactly what kind of additional compensation she can receive as a result of the performance.
Would she be interested in a private room? Most of the performers are in a main room when they're preparing everything. She could have a private area where she does both hair, makeup, costume, for after show, for having any of her friends and family come meet her before and after. It isn't something we normally do, but that would be something we'd be willing to concede.
Okay. And can she get any other types of compensation if she were to sell out this production for all 18 shows?
If there were to be 95% occupancy for at least 75% of the shows, we would be willing to maybe see that extra 2,000. I feel like that would be fair, and that gives her the option to meet her full needs of the 37,000, while also making it based on the attendance. So I feel like if you find that fair, I feel comfortable with that.
Okay, and that's 95% for, say, 75%
of the shows.
Okay. For another 2,000.
Correct.
And that gets us to 37.
Correct.
Okay, I think we'd be willing to do that.
Okay, so do we have an agreement to sign on with Miss Sally Soprano?
Should be very excited.
Excellent. Well, I appreciate you meeting with me, and I look forward to getting started with Sally. I think that will be great, and we'll get her room set up for her.
Yeah, I know she's excited to get started, and I'm glad that we both can come to a quick and easy, beneficial agreement here, and everyone's happy.
Definitely, I agree. Thank you so much.
Yep, thank you.
Take care.
Take care.